The year was 1946. The press gathered at Bikini Atoll to witness the power of the nuclear bomb. But many leagues beneath their feet, something ancient stirred.
Godzilla, the king of the monsters! He was pretty pissed off over the worst wake-up ever, so he swam to Japan for one hell of a crash-out.
Japan was still recovering from the war, so seeing this mutilated radioactive monster towering high like a mushroom cloud wasn't just frightening, it seemed prophetic. The bomb was just the beginning. Man had sparked the end of times.
Complete with googly eyes, and the most epic roar ever.
Over the years, there have been many iterations of the beast.
Between movies, TV, comics, and cartoons, there's at least 27 different Godzillas stomping around, not including Manila, the Scrappy Doo of kaiju. Sorry, that's insulting to Scrappy Doo.
Despite the variety, Godzilla is somewhat consistent, so we'll examine his entire history, focusing on the larger releases. In most iterations, Godzilla is a rare theropod that went dormant for millions of years before nuclear bombs mutated it into a gargantuan radioactive monster.
Standing 165 feet tall, at minimum, Koji smashes through skyscrapers with ease. He's so casual about bullets and rockets, they might as well be gnats. And the bombs did so much more than just pump up his size. He's got atomic breath!
A concentrated beam or spray of radioactive heat. With an estimated range of 1,100 miles, it can exceed 500,000 degrees Celsius, almost 90 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
But depending on how much radiation he's absorbed, or, life energy from a giant pterodactyl, he can do way more with it.
His red spiral ray is a supercharged version that doubles in heat and power, and spins.
Or he can blast it out of his back and fly. Well, he could always do that, I guess. Look at him go.
With enough energy built up, Godzilla can blast a nuclear pulse out of his whole body, creating a massive wave of atomic destruction.
His breathing laser can even break through dimensions, like when he found himself face to face with a giant mech, piloted by Hatsune Miku?
There's also a number of era-exclusive powers. Shin Godzilla can fire rays from his tail.
And Hanna-Barbera Godzilla can fire rays from his eyes. Pew, pew.
Effectively a living nuclear reactor, Shin possesses a natural phased array radar that can detect and attack threats automatically. And Godzilla Earth, who grew over 1,000 feet tall across 2,000 years, could make a barrier only penetrable by kaiju that can bypass physics.
And don't forget, Big G can ball with the best of them. After Charles Barkley got him his own pair of Nikes, Godzilla got busy.
It's kind of hard to emphasize just how impressively terrifying Godzilla can be when you're bringing up this sort of thing.
Oh yeah? Why don't you find a better spokesperson for Dr. Pepper? Fine, let's talk about when his presence boiled the entire Arctic Ocean, or how he picked up and threw Biolante, which weighed 200,000 tons, or when he no-sold not one, not two, but 3 meteors.
Including the Permian period extinction event that happened about 200 million years ago.
Then he went to hell, fought some fucked up versions of God and Satan, and atomic breath that Space Godzilla so hard that he blew up the whole planet. That's scary enough for you? God, I want a Dr. Pepper.
With such awesome might, he's battled the most dangerous of foes, like King Ghidorah and Gigan. In Godzilla vs. Megalon, Gigan flew from the M Hunter Nebula to Earth in 24 seconds, and that nebula is 30,000 light years away.
But sadly, OG Goji got done in by the cruelest weapon ever.
The Oxygen Destroyer. Developed in secret by Dr. Serizawa, this weapon could suffocate and liquefy molecules. The ramifications of such a weapon were so detrimental, Serizawa took the secrets of its design to his early grave.
He got lucky. It doesn't matter what you throw at Godzilla, he never really dies. You can blow off his head, explode him from the inside, or crush him in a black hole. Then he'll come back.
Or evolve into an even more powerful form. Godzilla's always possessed heightened adaptation, but many iterations clearly showcase instantaneous evolution.
And super forms! He's gone full shonen and powered up a few times. So much so, he almost kicked off a nuclear winter just by existing.
Even the Oxygen Destroyer could not permanently end the first Godzilla. His ghost possessed a robot, his bones summoned another Godzilla, and he rose as an undead revenant hell-bent on destroying Japan.
Okay, why Japan? Couldn't he pick on some other country? country?
He's stomped around the Americas a few times, but it just isn't the same. Godzilla is intrinsically linked with Japan, a symbol of both their devastation and resilience. A reminder of the threat of nuclear war and what awaits those who peer too deeply into the unknown. But also, Japan's in Godzilla's perceived territory. To him, a stomping through Osaka is just another patrol.
He's not always so bad, though. He can be super protective, defending other monsters, his own kid, and sometimes even people. I'd say there's two types of Godzillas: the monster of nature's wrath and the guardian of planet Earth.
Well, there is a third type, but to understand that, we should first answer a question. How does Godzilla walk?
On two legs, Wiz, obviously.
But according to Square Cube law, those legs should be crushed under his own weight.
Oh god, here we go again.
A creature like Godzilla cannot realistically exist. This proved to be an elusive question for decades, even highlighted in Shin Godzilla, until a new theory was presented in the anime Singular Point. If Godzilla can't exist in our reality, what if he's from a different one?
What? Like he's an alien from another dimension?
Exactly! What if all kaiju come from a higher plane of existence with no regard for the known laws of physics? This dimension enters our reality in the form of archetype, a transtemporal conceptual particle.
It's that red dust that's floating all over the place.
This archetype can enter any timeline to terraform the Earth and all of reality so that kaiju can exist. This theoretically explains why various Godzillas appear in so many universes. They all trace back to one singular point: Godzilla Ultima.
Sporting the wide grin of a demonic Oni, Ultima is vicious. Just walking through Tokyo started 1,000 earthquakes around Japan. Even his own blood is a weapon.
Over 300 feet tall and growing ever more as archetype distorts the universe, Ultima's existence implies a far more complex origin for all Godzillas. Godzilla is a test for humanity, a challenge laid out by an eldritch entity from a dimension we are incapable of perceiving or comprehending.
It's kind of like how when we move an object and its shadow changes, we get why that happened. But to someone who exists in only a 2D plane, the shadow looks like it just randomly transformed into something totally different. Crazy to think about. Come a really long way from Big Lizard Smash Building, huh?
This shadow, this wannabe god, desires to play with and destroy every single universe.
And Godzilla is its avatar.
Through Ultima, this entity sees the universe as an interactable fiction and can control causality. Ultima himself is a singular point, one of many gateways through which the entity can tamper with reality.
Think of it this way: if something happens that the entity doesn't like, it can just say, "That thing didn't actually happen," and presto, it no longer happened.
That's not to say such an event can't happen in the moment of occurrence, but the entity disconnects cause and effect and nullifies events in retrospect without regard for time.
And now my head hurts. TLDR, Ultima tried to bring about a catastrophe that would end the universe in like a week's time. So, a wacky robot and a time-traveling Alexa used a supercomputer and this familiar-looking doohickey,
The orthogonal diagonalizer.
to zap all of Archetype into its final form, cutting off the entity's connection to the universe.
But not killing it. Because while each Godzilla has its differences, one thing remains certain.
Godzilla is immortal, and that makes him the king.